0. We are here live at Reggae Sun Ska, the 20th edition. It's the Sun Ska Web TV, and I'm joined with KINGFISHA. Hello.
Hi, Natalia.
Hello, guys. How are you both?
Yeah, really well, thank you.
Good. Just going to jump in. We do have a translator here, but I'm just going to jump in. You don't have to translate the how I used, do you? I want to know how your set was. How was that today?
I loved it. We had a brilliant time. Great festival, and the vibes huge stage, great audience, great reaction. Yeah, we love being here. It was a beautiful gig.
La question était comment ça s'est passé pour vous aujourd'hui au festival. Elle a dit que c'était vraiment super festival, grosse scène, super public.
And you do quite a bit of festivals back home, I imagine. So how does the crowd sort of compare, the European crowd to the Aussie crowd?
Well, for us, being a reggae band, the European crowds are a lot easier. Australia is a fantastic place, beautiful, but they're not as up for reggae as they are in France. So, yeah, it was fantastic. It was heaps of fun.
Donc la question était quelle différence trouvez-vous entre le public australien et européen? Et il dit qu'en Europe c'est beaucoup plus facile, il y a le public a plus l'habitude, alors qu'en Australie ils n'aiment pas trop ça, donc c'est plus difficile.
That actually does lead me on to the question I was going to ask. What is the music scene like in Australia, and what is it like being a reggae band in Australia for you? Are there any other people doing similar things to you, or are you kind of alone in that sense?
There's a bit of a scene, especially where we're from in Brisbane. We're probably a lot more dubby and electronic than probably any other reggae band in Australia, which works for us because we get to play in other sort of festivals as well as Roots World festivals. But across the board, there's a lot of indie, a lot of pop, a lot of rock and roll. Australia is very rock and roll based and has been for years, like AC/DC, In Excess. So what we do is sort of far from the mainstream, but we love it and it seems to, work. Yeah.
Donc la question était comment est la scène musicale du coup en Australie? Est-ce qu'il y a beaucoup d'autres groupes de reggae comme vous? Il dit qu'il y a c'est une petite scène quand même le reggae. Ça marche un peu mieux vers Brisbane d'où ils sont, vu qu'ils font ils ont un peu plus tourné électro, ça leur ouvre la porte à d'autres festivals. Mais l'Australie est vraiment très indie, beaucoup de rock'n'roll, AC/DC, In Excess.
And what really got you into sort of dub reggae, that particular genre, given all the rock groups that you mentioned? What sort of influenced you in your musical journey?
Oh, personally, I found the bass, the rhythms, the drums and bass really attracted me to it from the start, and the melody, strong melodies. And then I discovered dub music, and I was already a big fan of electronic music and production, and so I really love dub music, and thought that those two sounds could work well together, and I'd like to make music like that. So that was my journey into reggae.
Donc la question était qu'est-ce qui vous a amené dans le dub, les influences? Il a dit qu'il était un gros fan de basse et de drums ensemble, ainsi que de mélodies. Il a découvert le dub. Avant, il était plutôt fan d'électro, mais le mix électro-reggae marche très bien.
Well, personally, I was into like a lot of different sorts of music. I grew up in rock and roll and that sort of stuff, and then I started getting into folk and world music, and then I heard a King Tubby album. Yeah, and that sort of blew my head apart. Just the sparseness, the rhythms, and I'd always loved songs and songcraft, and Then I heard a band from the Virgin Islands, Midnight. Yeah, so that combination of Midnight and King Tubby really inspired me to want to write and play reggae dub music.
Donc quand il a grandi, il écoutait vraiment différents styles, plutôt du rock, mais après il a découvert King Tubby avec des rythmes très, très lourds, et puis un groupe qui s'appelle Midnight. C'est la combinaison de King Tubby et de Midnight a été une vraie inspiration pour lui.
You spoke about coming from sort of electronic music background. Is that one of the reasons why you chose to have some of your songs remixed and it was really well received? I mean, I've listened to it, it sounds amazing, it sounds so natural. Is that something that you'd pursue again for everything that you release, that you'd have like a remix sort of vibe to it?
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, we've always had an interest in that scene, and there's a lot of outdoor electronic music parties in Australia. That's something that I've been involved with quite a lot, and that led to that idea of the remix album, I think. Always appreciating remixes in that style, in that genre. And we've been working on it for our new album, Offered It Up. We've been working on a dub remix album for that, with all European dub producers. Some names might be Anti-Bypass, Vibronics, doing some dubs. Al Breadwinner. So that's coming together at the moment. And we're really hoping to release that in Europe.
Donc la question était, vous avez fait un album de remix plutôt branché électro. Ça a été vraiment un bel album, un beau succès. Comment le projet a commencé? Donc il dit qu'il y a vraiment une scène établie électro en Australie. C'est ça qui les a plus ou moins motivés à faire cet album de remix. Et là, il pense se lancer dans un album de remix, mais remix dub seulement, avec des remixeurs européens comme Anti-Bypass, je sais pas, Vibronics.
So your album Offered It Up is out now, isn't it? In Europe, people can buy it. What can they expect from the album? It's going to be a bit of an introduction, I suppose, to your music here in Europe.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I suppose our sound is, especially for this album, there's a few different rhythms happening, one drops, rockers, steppers. With our thing that we do is, writing songs and with our elements like dub and electronic. I don't know, it's hard to explain. It's just
and your voice, the soulfulness of your voice. I think one thing about that, when I was listening to your music, it just reminded me sometimes of the sort of old school Jamaican singers who had that sort of American soul influence just at the beginning of the reggae movement, and I got like a sort of updated version of that almost, and it's beautiful. It works so well,
Oh,
so you can expect that as well. I thought I'd add that.
Yeah, thank you. Well, I'm influenced by a lot of different styles. So vocally, what comes out, and it seems to be working. So we're going with it.
Donc la question était, votre nouvel album Offered It Up est juste sorti en Europe. Qu'est-ce qu'on peut en attendre? Il a dit que c'est difficile à expliquer la façon dont ils écrivent leurs chansons. Ils ont différents rythmes qui se mélangent un petit peu. Ils écrivent, puis après ils rajoutent des ambiances électro dessus.
Some of the acts performing here at Reggae Sun Ska have been in the game for like 40 years. And I know, I've even asked some of them, did you imagine when you started out that you'd be still performing? What do you see for yourselves in the future? Is it that sort of longevity? Do you see that with your band? It's a hard question.
Yeah, I'm not really too sure. The group and the core of the band, we get along really well. We've got a nice bond. Like a fair few of us have kids, and our kids have grown up together, and it feels like a bit of a family band. And we still really enjoy writing music together, which I suppose is the most important thing. and then playing and hanging out in beautiful places like this. So we'll just see how it goes. We have sort of 6-month, 12-month plans. But I suppose those plans are getting cooler because more cool stuff like this is happening. So we'll just see where it goes. Yeah.
Donc la question était, certains des groupes qui jouent au Reggae Sun Ska ont des longues carrières de plus de 40 ans. Comment est-ce que vous voyez votre carrière être aussi longue? Il a dit qu'il n'est vraiment pas sûr. Pour l'instant, ils s'entendent super bien dans le groupe. Certains ont des enfants qui eux-mêmes grandissent ensemble, donc il y a vraiment une connexion super entre eux. Ils adorent encore jouer ensemble, donc tant qu'il y a ça, ils joueront ensemble.
And finally, what similarities does Kingfisher the band have with Kingfisher the bird, or even Kingfisher the beer? Where's the similarities there?
Well, there's not many, but I guess when we were forming the band, we had played music in bands for a while, and we decided to work on a band starting in a studio and write songs in the studio. And we lived together. Three of the members of the band lived together at the time. And Kingfisher appeared in the window of the studio as we were working, and we were looking for a name. So I guess we live in an area that is frequented by kingfishers. So that's one thing.
Amazing.
As far as the beer, well, we do like beer.
Says it so shyly. No reference to Australian culture and beer, no.
I'm not sure, yeah. It's just a name that seemed to fit and feels cool, so, yeah.
Donc la question était, quelle similarité avez-vous avec l'oiseau, le Kingfisher, c'est-à-dire le martin pêcheur? Il y a aussi une bière qui s'appelle Kingfisher. Donc pour l'oiseau, il a dit pas beaucoup. Donc ils ont commencé, ils avaient plusieurs groupes, ils se sont dit qu'ils allaient faire un album de studio. Et là, il y a un martin pêcheur qui s'est pointé à la fenêtre, et du coup, naturellement, ils ont choisi ce nom. Par rapport à la bière, juste qu'ils aiment bien la bière. Voilà.
Well, I think the Kingfisher bird is absolutely beautiful. I think you guys make beautiful music. So for me, that's one awesome similarity. Well, yeah, and thank you so much for joining us here at Reggae Sun Ska. It's the 20th year, and for you guys to make your debut here, it's so amazing for us to have you. So thank you for joining me. Everybody, it's Kingfisher.
Cheers.
Thank you.